Hey, everybody. Our lovely management lady over here, Maggie Adams, had the idea of putting this together. A little question and answer session to maybe answer some of the questions that you guys have. Who decides what songs you cover? Since I'm a huge fan of the song Harvest Moon, it was nice to see it done in such a beautiful way, and it was.
Agree.
Right. So who wants to take that?
I'll take it.
Take it.
I think it's pretty collaborative. Like in the case of Harvest Moon, I think that was your idea, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I had been really into Harvest Moon at that point for whatever reason, even though it's not a new song. But yeah, I just wanted to do that one. Tim's really good about just whenever we have an idea for a song, hearing us out and not immediately shooting us down.
Yeah.
Chase picks out some good ones that you'll hear soon, very soon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you guys, actually, I mean, they give us ideas all the time. So that was,
Yeah,
I think, like, as far as the ideas we got from those YouTube videos, I actually ended up doing a few of them.
Yeah,
that
I think
are coming soon.
I think a lot of the ones we chose were fan requests.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And
So
you guys are
we
young singers, but you have kind of old souls. I mean, you really have a lot of.
Like an instrument with a name.
Two of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maggie's an instrument with a name. Maggie.
Mags.
Oh yes. I have so much soul.
So much soul.
You got so cool. Well,
It's a good one here. It's a good one. It kind of goes with that. Are the fossils, that would be us, minus Scott. We love you, Scott.
yes, we're missing Scott. We need a picture of him, right?
I wasn't able to make it to Atlanta to be with the rest of the group, so I thought I'd answer a few questions. Thank y'all for asking and sending them in. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. I think Sammy's absolutely right on that one, too. Maggie did a wonderful job.
Are the fossils receptive to the Foxes' choices of music? I've become a fan of newer music simply because I am y'all's fans.
Y'all's is.
Right.
I think that some songs take more pushing than others.
Do you have an example?
Well, I'm trying to think. So, like, anything that's a little more poppy, I guess, just because it doesn't, how it sounds on that record is not how it will sound when we do it. It'll be different.
Yeah.
Like that Tori Kelly song, I think you were a little apprehensive about
I just didn't
at
think.
first.
He's still apprehensive.
Yep.
But she did a good job.
She
And
did a great job.
I'll have to say this, that I was very proud of the band. In that video, we had never, ever rehearsed that song. We just asked the individual members to come prepared to run over at sound check. And we ran through it like 1.5 times and decided to do it. And you can hear me in the video say, takes a lot of guts to stand up there and sing this one.
And Sammy goes, thanks, Dad.
Tim's little introductions.
But I'll say this too, and then I don't want to talk too much, but having Sammy at home during the early years of the band and when she was in college and would come home, it really kept me exposed to, music that's happening today, primarily the modern country and things and Americana kind of music. I'm not a huge fan of hip hop, but there's a few
You know what
things
he
that I
said to me
like.
the other day? He said, I think I'm coming around on Billie Eilish.
I am. She's quite a talent. She's
Very
quite a
much so.
talent. Yeah.
I was like, that's good.
All right. Hi, F&F. Can you describe how you would create your arrangements? Does somebody begin singing the melody and others chime in with harmony? Does Tim or another member have a sketch in mind before starting rehearsal?
Yes.
What's rehearsal?
Yeah. I think it's never been to that.
Show up
Same
and play
as
it.
recording.
Show up and play it. Is it a collaborative effort or is one person the master designer? Thank you. Who should answer that?
Well, I think the master designer is definitely you.
You
As
think?
far as orchestrating the parts and having that ear for harmony and kind of picking the pieces out. I don't think there's much doubt there.
Well, I said this in the little About Us, that my goal my whole life has been to surround myself with people that are better at what they do than I am at what they do. Kind of a
That's a
complicated
good
thing.
rule for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
But certainly when Maggie and Sammy when they were proposition to do this thing. I did say,
Maybe say that.
Required.
We're not going to keep
persuaded.
going.
I did say after the first rehearsal, and I wrote about it in the About Us thing, was that I was literally moved to tears when I heard how well the voices blended. You talk about family blends and stuff, and I'm sure that's a factor in Sam and me, but Max has been, part of the community forever, and I'd heard her sing forever, and I was so excited to do it, and when I heard it, it was like, wow.
Well, part of that was the church.
Yeah, they were together and
they were
singing
singing
in
choir
church,
when they
but-
were younger.
Right, but hardly ever together.
Right, they never put them together, but they.
Yeah, but
You did that.
I do parse out the harmonies and things on Cubase, which is an answer to another question. What DAW do I use? Is Cubase, and it's very good and it's very easy and it's very quick. That I can try any number of things until I get what I'm looking for, and then I'll pass that on to the girls or the guys or whomever. But I'm open to suggestions. I'm not infallible. If I miss something, a lot of times they'll come up with, oh, wait, what about this? Or come up with a whole different approach. Maggie had some great ideas for Harvest Moon, for example. And, another thing about the girls is there's never been any jealousy that I could see between them. It's always been, they're very supportive of one another. And it's just like a
Whatever
family.
fits the song best.
Whatever works best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all musicians enough to know that
Yeah.
whatever the song needs.
Like other people can do things that I
It's a
can't.
tough one. My favorite of the three singers, I'm going to have to say Christine McVie. She's overlooked, but I love her voice.
Okay, how did the reunion come about?
How did it come about? It was kind of a combo, I think, between you and I looking at YouTube analytics, wasn't it?
I think so.
We sort of realized that we were getting more views than I think in the past few years, like since they changed the algorithms in like 2016 or something, we saw like spikes in views. And so I guess at the beginning of this year, since I had been in management, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool that we're getting this much attention and we're literally not doing anything with these videos. They're just like have been up for 10 years.
Right.
And so I think I went to Tim and asked if he wanted to do some more things with it maybe.
And the question was, what can we do?
What can we do?
Because as we state in the disclaimer about playing live gigs, we're in 5 different states: Tennessee, Iowa, Massachusetts, and Scott's in Virginia, and the rest of us are in
Yeah.
Georgia. So that's 5.
But
But-
when we hatched this idea, the 3 of us, the
We're
3
in
girls
Nashville.
were still in
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Right.
It was short-lived.
Yeah.
You
We
guys
should have
immediately
realized,
split
a while
apart
ago
right
that we'd
after
been in the
that.
same state for like a year.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we realized it when we did, at least, and then we could record that video asking what everybody wanted to hear, and that
Yeah.
sort of like sparked what our set list would be for these like recordings. Yeah.
And, we saw a chance to do something creative, and that because of the internet, we could involve everyone. And I think that, people say, well, you could replace this person and go on tour, or you could replace that person and go on tour. But, I think, again, the sum of the parts,
Is greater than
the whole is greater than
the
the sum
whole is
of the
greater than the
parts.
sum of its parts.
Right.
Close
I
enough.
think.
I mean,
Yikes.
there might be a better
Sounding
guitar player, there might be a better drummer, there might be a
No,
better
no, no,
keyboard
there's
player, there might be whatever. But
We could be talking to going on tour if it went from 5 figures to 6, and then that way it would be
yeah.
our jobs.
What type of equipment do you use, and how did you do your live recordings? I already mentioned that we've got now a Behringer X32 that serves as an interface with the Cubase. That's kind of new. Over the years, we've used
Lisa's
HR.
HD24,
HD24.
which is a 24-track digital machine that has hard drives.
Right, and what we would do is we would tap into each individual channel, which at the time was 14 or 15 channels,
Right.
and then my good friend Terry Heinlein, hey Terry, volunteered basically to to video the band, and we did that first video thinking that'd be probably the only thing we ever did. You know, we wanted it to be
Am I not getting
a
paid?
keepsake.
No. What, you never got paid?
I've offered so many times.
It's like Cecil B. DeMille over there.
Right, but you know, we take it and I dump the audio into the machine, and then do everything I can to make it sound as good as I can. You know, add reverb, EQ, you know, levels, this, that, and the other. Somebody asked if we ever did overdubs, and I'd be lying if I said we never did overdubs, but primarily from, you know, we'd do a show with 30 songs in it, and we'd have 5 songs that I thought were eligible to be posted in the thing. The caveat there being never put anything up that's not better than what you've done before. And I mean, you know, a couple of times where a cable didn't work or you had static or whatever that we might have dropped something in. But for the most part, it is the performance that you're seeing. All right, major influences. You guys talk, I'll get something. Go ahead. Whoever.
Lord.
Major musical influences?
Yeah.
I don't know if we should talk when you're
Or like.
when you're going.
Wow. For me, it's Beatles #1, and then everybody else. It covers a wide
Yeah.
range.
Beatles probably had an influence on me as a child. I remember like one of my first musical memories was listening to the Beatles when I was in Washington D.C. like when I was really little, and I have this clear picture of going into this old colonial house in like Williamsburg and hearing like Eleanor Rigby playing in the background, so we were listening to that in the car, and the harmonies are just so good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chase, you haven't said much.
You noticed. Gosh, musical influences. I feel like my influences are probably a little bit different from y'all's. I really like funk music. 70 like Tower of Power, Earth, Wind and
Yes.
Fire.
Oh,
I love big band music. That's kind of what I grew up with. So a lot of kind of same time period that we sort of do, but different whole camp of music. So
Different genres.
yeah.
I could see
Yeah.
you singing in front of a big band, my dear.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Quickly, Dar, we're running out of time.
Just growing up Southern rock and blues, gospel.
Johnny
Well, like I
Pye.
said, Beatles, but really all kinds of music, whether it's new stuff, old stuff. I really like everything.
Yeah.
I pretty much my shuffle list covers pretty much everything you can imagine. So yeah, I love it all.
Sam.
I feel that way.
Yeah. Well, I grew up like 90s, 2000s country. This is not surprising.
Brooks and Dunn.
But that bleeds into, I like love Casey Musgraves, love Maren Morris, and a bunch of those female country singers, and then also a bunch of musical theater. I feel like I still just put that on when I'm like running. Just weird, but it really, Hamilton really gets you going sometimes.
I bet.
So I like all that stuff.
I, of course, like everybody, I grew up listening to the Beatles. That was a huge influence on me, but also other groups that I really liked were Little Feat, Steely Dan, The Police, those 3 or 4 right there. I could stop right there.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy. So.
Absolutely.
Well, I loved really all the music that I heard as a kid. There was very little that I didn't like, but I really enjoyed really good songwriters. One of my favorites is Jackson Browne. I loved Todd Rundgren as a child and an adult and everything. And we're pleased to say this wonderful thing that my wife made me for Christmas is a photo of Todd's Facebook page where he reposted our version of "We Gotta Get You a Woman,"
Incredible.
which was it was an easy sell on these girls. They liked that song. But the greatest thing was, and probably one of my favorite people of all time, was Graham Nash. And he sent us an email a long time ago, but it was really sort of the highlight of my life, that says, I quote, "I can't tell you how much I enjoyed your performance of our song," that being Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. "In tune, energetic, delightful. Many congratulations. My sister Elaine sent me this link. Well done, all of you. Love to all, Graham Nash." And I actually met him and got him to sign it. And
It's
my
real.
lovely wife
It's
framed
real.
it
I
for
did
me.
not know that.
Yes, and
Hopefully you don't have his email on there.
he actually, when I approached him, I said, "You don't know
Cut that
me
out.
from Adam, blah 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 blah," and he looked up at me and he says, "The girls, they're in college now."
What?
I said, "Yeah." He remembered how old you were and he remembered everything about it.
No.
So anyway, I love Brand Nash. There you
Yeah,
go.
that's,
I met him at the
Yeah.
Fox
Cool
because of
story.
that. I got
On
to
that
talk to
Todd
him.
Rundgren. You commented on Todd Rundgren's post. It was like, "Oh, geez, Mr. Rundgren, thank you
Yeah.
so much."
Like a little kid.
Shout
Jeez,
out to
Mr.
my,
Rogan.
Jeez.
shout out to my friend Jamie Leslie who sent me that post and alerted me that we had actually been mentioned in it.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then, like I
crazy.
said, Carol King mentioned to a friend of mine from LA.
What?
What?
You know that?
Wait, no.
I have a friend that was her neighbor, and just like this whole thing organically has grown, he said, "By the way, Carol King's camp likes your stuff too." I'm like, "Well, tell her thank you."
Yeah. Tell her we enjoyed Tapestry.
Yes.
Very much.
You just never know who's gonna.
Carol, if
Where
you're
it
out
ends
there,
up.
we like you too.
Love you.
We love you.
We love
Thank
your
you.
stuff too.
Thank you to all of you.
Quick
We're
answers.
famous.
Is there a video coming with Sammy singing lead?
Yes.
When? I don't know. But there's
ASAP.
definitely one. We've got all the parts, just about all the parts done, and that will be coming up. Are there plans to tour? We touched on that. The real problem is logistics. We would not want to steal anyone's money by putting on a less than stellar show, which would require a lot of rehearsing. So as Darwin said, get it up into the, high 5-figure, 6-figure.
Lucrative enough.
Yeah,
we can,
yeah,
we
yeah,
can
yeah,
get
yeah.
together.
There's so many of us,
So many
trying to
people
move
work,
forward.
and I mean, I wouldn't feel right if we didn't actually rehearse for a week or two before.
But it's not,
We've thrown around the idea of a, I mean, you call it a virtual concert or a broadcast, where if we could get everybody down to Atlanta and get a soundstage or something, put it together, we might could do something like that, and
Or if we just put
and
it on
charge you
sale.
for it.
a year in advance, maybe people would come to us.
Year in advance.
Another question is original music. Will there ever be any? Chase, tell them what you're doing.
I am doing several projects right now, trying to be a solo artist. Kind of what I want to do. Not kind of. I mean, I want to do
Definitely.
it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm being
Be modest.
I'm being modest.
She's
I really
on
want
the
to do
track.
it. I really want to do it. So I am releasing a couple of singles. I'm kind of going in like the pop country direction. Might go somewhere else with it. Kind of just doing some experimenting for what works, what people are into. So I'm kind of just doing a couple different EPs and projects to see what people are interested in that listen to my stuff. So if you're interested, you can go to my website, which is chasesings.com. So
Hit it up.
The and we'll get more information on that because the next video we release is going to be one with Chase singing lead on it, and we'll send all that information out with that video.
And you have a catalog. Tim's got a pretty good catalog of original music. We're trying
Tons
to
of
figure
it.
out what would work and what at what time.
Yeah.
So
The real
songs are
question-
there. We're just trying to time it correctly.
The real question, which we stumbled on the answer for, is a lot of the stuff is co-written, and I mean, and it goes back, and some of it's appropriate, some of it's not. But Darwin and I wrote a song about a year ago that we're going to do a video of and put up, and then there's another one that I wrote as a tribute to my parents, which I think everybody will like. We're going to get that one recorded and up on the video as well. And we're working on getting downloads available for the cover stuff too. Just got to figure out the best way to do that, but that's going to be happening pretty soon. One last question, and this is a good one. Has anyone ever recognized you far from home as a member of this group? Sam, tell them what happened to you.
Okay, so it wasn't being recognized, but my good friend who I went to college with and we performed together in a musical theater group. So I've met her dad, which is the funniest part about this. Her dad sent her a video, I can't remember what song, but he was like, check out this cover band, they're so good. And she watched it and she was like, Dad, you've met her. That's Sammy. And then texted me and was really like all hyped up about it. It was pretty funny. And her dad was like, "You know them?" And it was pretty cute. Yeah.
It happened to me once. My wife and I were taking a cruise. We're both retired, so we do cruise a lot. And we were going on a cruise to the Panama Canal and sitting down at dinner with people. It was just the two of us with 8 strangers around the table. And at cruises, you introduce yourself and you tell them what you do. And it got to be my turn. And I said, well, yeah, I'm retired. I've been retired a long time, but I played music for a really long time. And one of my favorite things is the project I started with my daughter. And the guy across the table went, "I knew it! Foxes and Fossils." And I said, yeah. And cool. This guy was a dentist from Des Moines, I believe. But
You may know it. You're in Iowa.
I've been recognized in Iowa before.
You could get free dental appointments.
So-
if you go to the right
Exactly.
as a
Yeah.
member of this group? Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
On the
cool.
street?
Yeah, I think it was at a restaurant actually. I don't remember the exact circumstance. I think it was right when I got up there. But I had somebody come up and they're like, "I'm sorry, are you in a cover band?" I was like, "Oh dear God, it's followed me to Iowa." I said, "Why yes, I am."
yes, I
They
am.
said, "Oh, are you the girl who was the replacement when Maggie had to leave the group?" I'm like, "Yeah."
There is no
Insane. I was
replacement.
like-
There's no replacement for Maggie. You were an addition to the
Right.
There
group.
is no
Yes.
replacement.
That's
Maggie
right.
could
A
never be
third,
replaced.
a third Fox.
I said
They
a
kind of
long,
will.
long time ago I would never replace either of the girls
no,
when they
no.
grew up and grew out of it, or whatever happened is what happened. But and the last question, I said that was the last one, was how did you come up with the name? And our lovely friend, who hopefully is going to field some questions and answer them for you that we can put into this as well. Scott King, the bass player, we were going to play this first job over at Bella's, and the only thing I'd come up with was something kind of like it, which was really lame, was Beauties and Beasties, which
Lame.
was just
I
as lame as
I
could
kind of
be.
like that one.
Sounds like Beastie Boys.
But Scott, he just kept going, "I just don't like that. I just don't like that. I just don't like that." And literally at the venue, before we went up to the thing, he said, "Hey, how about Foxes and Fossils?" And I said, I like that a little better. So
I think we liked that.
That's where it
Yeah.
came from.
I think we had a say.
We were
Right?
like, that's cool. Like,
Sure.
Origin of the name, that's a good one. I was there, so I can talk to this one. We were on stage getting ready to do the job at Bellis, which I thought was going to be our only job. And Tim had chosen the name Beauties and the Beasties, which I thought was pretty lame. And it was one night, so I figured, okay, go with it. And we were just getting ready to start the first song, and it just popped into my head. And off mic behind Tim, I said, "We ought to call it Foxes and Fossils." And so he told the crowd what I had said, and they started laughing, and they seemed to really like it. And that's what we are now. That's how we got it. Thank y'all for the questions. See ya.
Anyway, that's probably long enough. If anyone suffered through this whole thing, we appreciate it. And we're going to continue to produce videos. We've got some new ideas from new songs, but we've got enough to carry us through the summer of next year right now. And get busy on some of this original stuff. We're going to have Chase next month, and we're going to give you links to her website so you can see what she's got going on. I think she has a bright future in the business. And as speaking for the Foxes and Fossils, I think we're going to continue to do this as long as we can.
As long as people want to hear it.
Yeah.
And obviously they do.
So
Yep.
Thank
And
you.
we thank
love
you
you
very
guys.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and
appreciate
wanting
it.
to hear
We
it.
love it.
so
And letting
follow
us.
us on our newly created social media accounts.
Yeah.
Twitter's
Yes.
just Foxes and Fossils, and then Instagram is Foxes_and_fossils.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll put links
Yeah.
in the description below.
we'll send out info for that as well. But we're signing off for now. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.